Welcome everyone to our Meet the Facilitator meeting. Today we have 60 minutes with Julija from Poland. Julija is one of our lead facilitators. She is Poland country leader and much more than that. Today we will give Julija the stage to share with us first about herself and then about her professional path with points of view, to hear some tips of how to create wonderful workshops like she is doing. And it's also an opportunity for you to ask any question that you want. I have my pool of questions, but it's really an opportunity for you to ask if you have any dilemma or something that intrigues you in Julija's path and the way she's doing stuff, because I must admit Julija is really, really special in our facilitators team. So you have a lot to learn from her. And just a quick update that this session is recorded. I will afterwards put it on our tribe platform, so you can rewatch it and to share it with some colleagues and friends and whatever. And that's it. Let's start. We have a pause for you of 3 minutes before we will start to share. So I invite you to tune in. If you want to close your eyes, if you want to take your glasses off, to move in the room, whatever you like, everything's possible, and just enjoy it. And then we'll meet again here. So enjoy 3 minutes. Thank you. So, hope you enjoy the music. And let's start. Let's first hear from Julia a bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, if there is any detail that you want to share with us here. So you're welcome.
First of all, hello everyone, and it's very nice to see you all from different part of the world, I guess. And Zoom is, you remember, like Nokia used to have um, like a marketing sentence connecting people. So Zoom is connecting people from all over the world, and Points of View is connecting people from all over the world. So this is amazing, and thank you for your time. So what can I say about myself in this hour? First, I'm Lithuanian. I'm coming from Lithuania. It's a really interesting country on the Baltic side, on the Baltic Sea. And I lived in Lithuania till I was 25, and then I moved to Poland. So now I actually can say that I'm a little bit Polish too, because I live 18 years already here. And half of those 18 years living in Poland, I'm doing Points of View. So I live in Points of View for 9 years. Next year is going to be 10 years since I met for the first time this beautiful method. So my background is, you know, when you are a young woman and you're trying to figure it out. So my first figuring out was that I want to become the economist. So, and I went to to the university where I studied economy. After 3 years, I realized that this is not my path. I'm actually not really good in numbers and precision with the numbers. So I decided that I want to really, what is calling me, it's work with people, connecting people and being with people. I was 21 when I changed my direction into public relations. You know, it's still close, but it was really something what I liked. And this is what I started to do in Poland. When I moved to Poland, I started to work for the municipality for doing PR. And then you know, something happened in my life, and I started to become. I became a digger. A digger in a way that I started to dig into myself, because experiences in life which were really difficult for me, to challenging, you know, I couldn't understand what is going on inside of me. So actually in 2007 I started my inner research, my inner journey with the therapy, and then I discovered coaching for myself, and I finished the business trainer school. So I started to research and to understand how this model works in the world, and then how other models working in the world. So, and this path actually brought me to find something about points of view. And it was really interesting because I get my accreditation as an ICF coach. It was 2011, I guess. 12, 11. And I wanted something, you know, I wanted to continue. I wanted to develop my coaching skills. And on ICF Global page, I saw this inspiring movie about the coaching game, with all those comments. This is a magic. This is a magical toolbox. This is amazing. I'm like, oh my God, I want to have that, this magic. And I ordered the game, which I couldn't find it in Poland, so I ordered it on the Amazon. And yeah, so this is how it started. I bought the game and I didn't know what to do with this. You know, you open this magic tool, You see the cards, you see the book, what is it, how to use it. So I decided to sign up for the newsletter to get inspirations, to understand how to use the coaching game. And after I signed up for the newsletter, the magic happened. The first magic happened. Yaron sent me an email. It was, "Hi, Julia, who are you? How are you? Let's meet." Imagine that. I was like, I had this imagination that Points of View is a global, huge company somewhere with the HQ in the Israel, and the CEO of this company is writing me an email because he wants to meet. I felt really very special. So, and we had a conversation via Skype that time with Yaron, and he started to tell me about the phototherapy and that they have this beautiful course online which lasts almost 1 year, and after this year I will be able to conduct workshops with the photography. So, and this is the moment when I have these moments. I hope you have these moments as well, that it's not logical, but somehow your heart is there. And I couldn't understand. And honestly, that time I had a very complicated financial situation. It's all the workshops, they're quite, they need, they need more than just, just to register for the workshop. And I remember after this conversation, I with Yaron, I sat on my near my desk, and my husband came in and he said, "What is happening?" And I'm crying. And he said, "Why are you crying? How was your meeting?" And I said, "It was amazing. And I wanted so much. I wanted so much that I understand that I cannot afford it. And I was crying because of that, because I couldn't afford it and I wanted so much." And it never happened to me with anything. And he looked at me and he said, "Okay, we still have something on the credit card. Maybe." So I started my journey with Points of View, and honestly, I'm like, this is a very funny story. 2013, we're meeting we have our first meeting online with a group of people, and Yaron and Efrat, they presenting the pose. The pose, the one we have now, the first pose on the Hello Points workshop, Tangerine to me. Dun 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 dun. So they played this music and they asked us online to close our eyes. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? This is a cult. They want me to close my eyes. They want me to lose control. They tell me about something, inner researcher, trust the process. This is a manipulation. Honestly.
Today it's so obvious to do it, like
Yes,
after COVID time.
But to understand, it's like 9 years ago where I was with myself. It wasn't easy for me. And it was a challenging time, and it took me time to land in Points of View when I really understood that this is not a joke. That it's not about the cards, it's not about the pose, it's not about all these kind of things, that it's much, much more. It's something like a vortex which is taking you and challenging you, and you're growing there, and you can do good things to others because you can challenge them as well, but in a good way.
And I want to, just finish your sentence, because I want to take this point and maybe to continue with that. So do you want to finish the sentence?
No, it's okay, go.
Okay, so really, like, first, thank you for the introduction. I must admit, Lily, we know each other for 5 years, but I never heard this story in this kind of introduction of your story Points of View. So thank you for that. And I really want to take what you just said, because for my experience, and for those if you were in Julia's workshops, we can really sense it, that you're taking the emotional parts and you're breaking it and you're dealing with it. And we have different kinds of like endless topics that we can work with, if it's a corporate world or professional development and the teams and leadership. But in a way, I feel that you're all the time taking the part of the personal growth and to deal with the nuances in ourselves. And I wonder, like, from where do you get the inspiration from for these kind of workshops and topics? What guides you when you're creating points of view content?
Actually, thank you for this question. It's a very easy answer. I don't have to look outside, I'm looking inside. Because as I said, from 2007, I'm a digger, totally. And I'm still there and I'm still digging. And I'm still looking for the answers in many parts of my life, in being a mother and being a wife and being a friend, being in this role of the country leader. And I'm, this term, the highly sensitive person. I am the highly sensitive person. So the life for me is really, I'm like I'm experiencing life with very emotionally. And sometimes it's not easy. And I'm going into that place which are not easy. And I'm trying to understand what makes it not easy, because I want to feel at ease, in lightness, in alignment, in synchronization with the world, with myself, with what I do, with what I think, with what I feel. And if I'm not there, I'm digging. I'm asking myself, what is happening? Why you have this conflict? Why you're not moving forward? Why you are judging? Why you are not taking the step? So, and I'm using, and I'm like, I'm not stopping in, now I'm in a Gestalt school. So it's really another level of learning how to build relationship with yourself first. How really to be in touch with what I feel. So if I'm in touch with what I feel, I can be in touch with what you feel.
So the questions that you're creating are actually questions that you're asking yourself sometimes, and then you're delivering it through the workshops?
Totally. I'm going through something which is challenging for me, and I'm healing this part, and then I'm taking it into the process. It's like my recent workshop, The Healing Path. It's about trauma. So during all my previous path, all the years, I never touched it in a way. I was working on some topics, but I didn't understood how trauma is actually living through me in my body, in my mind, in my feelings, through the patterns. Because trauma is keep repeating, the patterns, they keep repeating, and something is happening with your body, it's contracted. So I started to work on it for myself. And then when you came with a proposal to conduct the workshop, was a topic for me. It was alive. It's something what I'm going through.
Yeah, and it sounds that you are very connected to yourself, and you meet yourself in these difficult places. And I wonder, like, how is it for you when you're doing it with others? Because sometimes, like, emotion arise, and you are also facilitating. You are part of the lead facilitators that facilitates the TPP program for 5 days. You see people in their path. How are you dealing with participants and with the hard emotions that arise? And first, as facilitator, also to contain it, and also to give service to others in this difficult place.
Thank you for that question, Mayan. Actually, when I'm in this place as a facilitator, it's something happened to me there that I'm in a different space. I'm in a different state of mind.
Do you
And
mean
and
like
sometimes it's something like I'm allowing things to happen, you know, and it's like I don't know. It's just I'm totally. I'm not taking the emotions of other people. I'm not taking it, but I'm totally present for them, in presence and readiness to whatever is coming through me and whatever I know how to do, how to facilitate and how to ask the questions. This is the techniques, and I've been learning it for many years. But presence, I think this is the most important tool to be. And you know, this sentence which came to me when I was on my facilitation group, I woke up in the morning, it was I think day 3 or day 2 of our master class, master facilitation, TPF, whatever you call it. And I understood that what we are doing, it's not about me. And I remember in the morning sharing, I was like, now I know it's not about me. I'm here to serve with my knowledge, with my presence, with knowing how to conduct points of view training. So this is what gives me this, it's a different state of mind. It's something different when I'm digging with myself and asking myself a question and when I'm with people. So this is...
it's very important thing to know and to learn also for those who are not facilitating like 5-day programs. And if you facilitate hello points, which is only 6 hours or even 1 hour session, and you know, sometimes we ask a question that we think it's obvious and small, and suddenly it touches someone and emotions arise, and we need to also to hold the space for them. So I think it's very important what you just shared with us, and also the to being present and really to be there for the participants. Is there any like challenge that you had during facilitation, that you know that in the that moment you felt, okay, what am I doing right now, what to do, like to be a bit anxious at that? And if yes, so what was your solution, how you solve it? And it can be online, like something now from, you know, the last 2 years, or even from the past, from the beginning of your career, whatever, like something that you really remember, and maybe we can learn from it also, because it's like something that we are dealing also here as facilitators.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a few many this kind of situations, and the first one, which I experienced in San Francisco during the TCP while I was conducting TPP. It was really powerful because one of the participants, he was very anxious about that he signed up for the and it was in US. You have this really strict difference between the coaching and therapy, and we know that points of view, it's in between, right? It's like it's a coaching, but it's a therapy as well. It's many many things are combined in this beautiful method. So, and he was very anxious about that he signed up for the coaching school, and actually what we are doing here is a hardcore therapy. And it was in this day 3 in the silence, and he was really approaching in an aggressive way, that he can sue me for that, for doing these things. And I didn't answer because it was the silence process, so I didn't react in a way. But it was hard for me because all the group, you know, you're responsible for 20 something people in the room. and you have to answer him, and you have to, because when somebody arises this question, it means that something is happening in the group as well. Maybe people are starting to ask the question the same way. What we are doing here, it's a hardcore therapy, we didn't sign up for that, we can sue her, oh, let's sue her, you know. This is crazy. So what I did that time, Yaron was with me, and I'm like, Yaron, we have to explain. And he said to me, Julia, it's not about you. Trust the process. And actually, what appeared lately after this silence mode, that this man, he went through his process, you know, of feel safe, of self-love. And actually, the big lesson for me was to contain. Whatever is happening in the room, to contain. Let people express their fears. Let them, don't try to fix it. Because in the end, in the process, it will come. And I had this kind of situation in many workshops, and my biggest lesson is to, because when we are talking about, when we are speaking about points of view and points of view facilitation, and to be a facilitator, it's to be a container and to give our participants this acceptance. Then you can be who you are with everything what we have. And if you're in fear, be in fear. I'm here to contain. So yeah, this was and in the further experiences like this, of course, you know, my heart is bumping. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to react, and I'm just okay. Let it be. Maybe to ask a question or two about, to reflect. How much do you feel safe with yourself? And what is we keep repeating in points of view, it's nothing is outside, everything is inside.
Sounds like a good tip, what you just gave us here. I want to open the discussion for all the participants here. If you have any question to Julia, if it's about her path, about the way she's doing stuff, about the specific tool she's using, about the workshop that she facilitated, the healing path that she facilitated now, or I don't know if you've been here in her a conference workshop. She also facilitated a workshop about igniting relationship with ourselves, and also like the self-connection and to be in touch with the universe and with our hearts. So it's really open now. If you have any question, feel free. You can write on the chat if it's easier for you. We have time, so take the opportunity.
Hello.
Hi, Corinne.
Hello, Corinne.
This is not a question, it's just a testimonial, if you accept, Mayam. I was lucky to meet Julia in 2019 in Poland in a TPP. That was just an incredible experience. And there are some people like that in our world. And Julia is one of those people that are important for me, even if we never chat or exchange or call or anything, just some links, likes, that's all. So for 3 years, no contact, but she's one of the person that is very inspiring and very, yes, smiling on inspiring points of view. She is points of view. She was with Yeliz in that TPP, and Yeliz made my high statement, and I've got back to Yeliz this year. Ooh, But I'm very grateful. This is what I wanted to say, because such an experience that changed life. I came back with something totally different in my life. And this is why I'm there, of course. I don't have any questions, especially. Thank you.
Thank you, Corinne.
Hi everyone.
Hi,
Actually,
Lily.
I'm actually like on the site here looking at the healing path, like, but I don't see a date for the next workshop.
It's November 3rd, I guess.
So I didn't get that.
It's November 3rd.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I was worried that maybe it has passed already.
It actually passed already because it was on August 7, August 22.
So this is another one coming.
Yes, and another one is coming on November 3rd.
Oh,
Just
okay.
need
No,
to check the
thank you.
time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Hilary, and welcome to the workshop.
Thank you.
I have a question regarding the tools. I would say, which is one of your preference in what you feel immediately that you want to conduct a workshop with one of these tools? It's something that because you are used to, or is it not only a question of experience but intuition as well?
Thank you for this question, Corinne. Each tool, I feel when I feel the energy of the tool. I know not exactly, but it's my intuition that I know if you want to discover yourself and to look at yourself, you have to use faces. If you want to work something with your doing part, something with changing the perspective, is the coaching game. If you want to go deeper and to find different points of view on the topic you are in, you are going into the punctum, because it's more therapeutical. And for me, flow is actually, in a way, to talk to the God, universe, something bigger than me. So, and this is when I'm when I'm creating my workshops, I understand which tool, from my understanding, from my experience, which tool is for what. And basically, after the flow is in the world was born, this is my favorite. I love faces as well. I love all of them. I just now I contacted the Hello Points in Poznan in Poland, and the power of this 6-hour workshop is incredible. I mean, you just do you do your facilitation, you hold the space, and what people are discovering, so wow, this is mind-blowing. Really. So, but for my workshops, I prefer faces and flow mostly. So did I answer your question?
Yes. Thank you, Julia. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, more questions, please.
I have one, but it's kind of country related. Like, do you see any specifics about working with points of view in Poland? I'm Polish, so like I have like personal interest in in like discovering Poland. Like, would you see any characteristics? How it goes, or whether you see any characteristics in comparison to other countries or to intercultural groups when you're conducting a workshop? Like, do you see how it resonates with people, how it works, how people get into, or whether there are any characteristics?
I love this question. Thank you, Anna. So first, I want to say that when you contacting the workshop, and it doesn't matter if you are in Japan, if you're in Thailand, if you're in US or somewhere in Europe, of course, the energy of the group, you can feel it in the beginning that it's maybe more reserved, more open, or maybe more focus oriented on the logical part, like science or whatever. But when it's coming to those moments when we are opening up, when we're in touch with our emotions, when we're invited to share ourselves in a very specific way, it's actually giving you this sense of oneness, that we are all the same. And we can live in a different cultures, we can do different things, we can get used to something different. Like in Japan, this is the culture really of reserved people, and they want to understand with the full respect. They want to understand how we do and what we do. But in the same time, when we're touching emotions, there is this experience that we all going through the sadness in the same way. We all going through the grief in the same way. That this is what is the connection, the points of view, which really gives us this feeling that there is no separation. But if we are speaking about, for example, developing points of view market or developing points of view tribe, so in Poland it's a little bit different, and sometimes it's complicated, but you know, it's I think every culture has something in it. So yeah, I started to build the tribe from 2014. This is when I'm really started to go with points of view outside, and I developed, by that time it was no academy, so I developed my own practitioner workshop, which was very popular in Poland, and people were really, wow, it was a huge tribe, and people wanted to know more and more and more. And then something happened, and you know, now we are in a different path. And but I feel now in myself again this fire that I really want to reignite it, because it's beautiful. And to have this feeling when you're it's not even that I don't want to say, of course I'm organizing, and of course you need to do all these things which needs to be done in order for the workshop to get alive in a way. But still, when you're experiencing this transformation, and yeah, I think if you have to do something in life, you have to do something in life. You know, you can sell insurance and you can do points of view. It's a choice. And it's a beautiful way of doing things. Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Julia, because I'm in South Africa, and really it has been a challenge, you know, to get points of view out there. I did my I think it was just before COVID. So I haven't even finished my all my workshops, you know, just got my level 2. And COVID happened and nothing really was happening in South Africa. Most people don't even know what points of view is all about, even when you talk to coaches. And at some point, yes, there was that fire that I'm the one that will bring it, like, and there's Vanessa as well. The two of us will, like, you know, try to bring people together. But it's like most of the workshop we did a few sessions, it would be like, you know, people from the tribe already. And we want people from the country who don't know about this to come. And yeah, the fire does die down, but because it's something that is within, it just doesn't go away. So now and again, it will, raise a head again. And yeah, I think I am there. I really want to, because I love points of view. I know what it can do. I so wish I can bring it to so many people in the country, especially now. So, and thank you for sharing that. So it's normal that those kind of waves happen in life, and as long as the vision is always there and the desire to do that, so there's hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hilary. Yes, and good luck. And really, I totally agree with you. If fire is there, if you really love it, if you really understand it, if you really go through it, there is no other way. And not everybody will follow, and it's okay, but you will find your tribe for sure. And sometimes, it happened to me as well during all these years when I was building the tribe, that first it's resistance. What is that? I don't know these things. It's, I don't know, too complicated or whatever. And after years, people are coming back. After 4 years, I had this kind of situation that she's coming back and she said, I still keep this. I was so angry on you because you were asking me this question. I didn't understand it. I didn't understood it that time, but now I'm ready. And yeah.
I want to relate to that also for those who are trying to build their clients or tribe or to try something new. It's also important for us as facilitators to explore and to investigate who is our best target audience for us also. Because some prefer to go to corporates and to work with managers, and some prefer to work with kids. And the tools and the method will work anyway. Just believe in it and trust in that. But also the energy of you as facilitator is super important. So just try, go to the room. This is why we are also, if you're doing the academy, this is why we are also saying and want you to do the certification process. It's not just about the certificate in the end. It's really to build yourself as a tool, as facilitator, to go into a room and to see what are the challenges, what is working for you, what do you like, and really to explore that once you will have the certificate, you will know exactly what to do and what suits best for you. And for Hilary, for example, that you're trying to structure something from scratch, like another tip that we used to share with our clients is really to try to collect groups and not like one from here, one from there, because it's really difficult to target whole Africa. Africa is huge. Also Poland, also Israel, even though we're very, very small, it's huge. So it's very difficult to find this client and that. And also Anna, for example, I remember that you work with the NGOs. So try to find the groups, if it's your friends that will pay it forward, if it's your colleagues, if it's kind of like a place that intrigues you and you're interested in what they are doing, just offer yourself, even for free, kind of a pro bono, I don't know what. Think about a creative way that you put your leg in the door in a way, and pay it forward and share it with the world, and during that also polish yourself as facilitator. Thank you. Any other questions? Meanwhile, I will ask one. Julia, while you're maybe thinking, Julia, I wonder about the creation process. Like while you're creating something from the idea that you have in your mind and in your heart till you facilitate it. Like, do you have any kind of an action plan or stages that you're doing? Or it's like really, you know, open and you're collecting inspirations from everywhere and doing mix and match till it fits? Like, what is the creation process? How it looks like?
You know, it's funny because I'm looking at Marek and he knows very well how I create workshops, because it's actually the flow. This is my flow in a way, but I need someone to, when I don't have an idea, I need someone to listen to me. And then I'm actually, Marek is my like a soul brother in that. I'm calling Marek and I said, listen, I have an idea. I want to do this workshop and I don't know what to do, but actually I'm going to do this, and this. And after in the end, it's done.
And Marek created.
I'll just add, I don't say anything, and then Julia says thank you.
This is the truth.
But this is it's honestly, of course, I have an idea because I'm not like, you know, checking the wind.
Mhm.
I really go inside myself and I'm like, what do I want? What is my intention? This is the most important for me. What is my intention? And then I'm looking for the, not the title, but in a way, direction. So I knew that, for example, healing path, it's going to be about the trauma. I knew it. I knew that the ignite your relationship, it's going to be about the connection with yourself. And then it's just happening. It's, okay, this, it's more intuitive. It's more in a flow. I'm not thinking about it, I'm not analyzing, but I'm checking it. And that's why sometimes I'm like, oh, I need this one, I need to tune this one, this question is too much. Or maybe I have a tendency to do it too much.
Mhm.
You know?
And how do you know it? Like, you feel it, you experience it, like
I
you
feel
practice on your friends or your family, or
in a way, I feel it. I know when it's not precise, but I have to I have to reflect it with someone. So if I'm speaking about it, I'm speaking it out loud, and I already feel, oh, okay, this is not gonna work. So this is honestly, there is no tip. It's just this is the way I do it. I'm sorry to tell you.
you're intuitive.
You know, I want to share with you something because this it's even inspiring for me now. When in 2014, when I was just starting with the points of view, one of the local company, they called me and they said, listen, we want you to conduct 4-day workshop like for 10 groups in different part of Poland. And I said, but I don't have a program. They said, don't worry, come and do something. So I knew only one process, which was zooming in by that time. And when people were going to the break, I didn't know what is going to happen after they coming back from the break, honestly. And and you know, and the way it was in a way co-creation with the space. But in that time, I invented such a beautiful processes which are still in me and they're still working, and it's amazing. So I really trusted the process, and for the 4 days in a row, I was conducting on like my first workshop. I was conducting on the way. Because that time we didn't have the booklets, we didn't have the process, it was nothing. So, and probably this experience give me as well this space for, I don't know, to work in co-creation with the group and to invent the workshops. Maybe this, I don't know.
You're just proving us that there is no one way to do
No,
it.
no. And
And
for me, I'm not very well organized. in a way, like I'm more in the flow than in by the book. So, and when I feel this pressure that I need to be organized, it's too much for me. I'm losing my flow.
Which is funny because I can share with you behind the scenes of every workshop that we are doing. We're quite strict with the timing and with the workflow and with the materials, and to make it perfect till you as participants will have the full experience. So in a way, it's like a combination of the two, of from one hand to be very intuitive, very to feel it and to that it will burn from the inside, but on the other hand, to create kind of a structure till it will be well designed and will work. But in the end, it's the facilitator.
Yeah. And I learned from points of view from a frat, actually. I learned about the structure, about the Excel, and I'm really get excited about it, that the structure is important, and I find my flow in the structure. So not to make it boring, but to just
Very important.
really to be in the flow, because I understood that the structure is the key in a way. When you are started to conduct it, you have to understand the why behind. This is the structure for me. Why you doing? Why this music? Why this question? Why this tool? What do you want in the end?
Amazing. Super important. This is what guides us, like every time we're thinking, okay, what we want the participants will gain and why we're doing things.
Yes. When you understand the why, everything, the rest is easy. Even with the conducting, I guess, I think with the by the book processes like Hello Points and creative practice, which I guess creative practice, it's a 2-day process, but it's so deep. It's so deep and so profound. And if you understand the why behind the scene as a facilitator, you can, in a way, squeeze from it all the power.
Mm-hmm.
And even Hello Flow, it's a 4 hours workshop, but how powerful it can be when you understand the why. It took me 3 facilitation, 3 when I conducted it online, 3, and on the first time I understood it. Because I
It
really
takes time.
I get it. Okay, now I know what I'm doing.
Amazing. Anna, do you have any question? Because I saw that you're raising your hand.
Yes. I wanted to ask, because like Julia, you mentioned at the beginning that when you were entering points of view, it was like, oh, what a cult, what's that? Close your eyes, listen to the music, what's that? And then like on my way, I meet many rational people who are like brain oriented and thinking oriented. And there were like one of the previous meetings, I heard that people like associate points of view at the beginning with tarot, how to explain to the serious people that you should trust the process, it's like how to, do you have like any examples, experiences, ways, things that work, or the way you approach, or actually simple question to you, perhaps to Marek as well, to Mariana, to any other who has got this experience of like how to like show the beauty of it, but not being seen as an, a kind of crazy secta guy, It's like how to make people trust the process when they don't have the trust yet.
I have a story. HR manager from the Alior Bank in Warsaw, he invited me to meeting because he heard from someone that I have an interesting tool for, I don't know, for the team building. So I came to the meeting and I said, okay, so let's do the session. This is the tool based on the phototherapy, based on the metaphor, based on the science, and actually this tool was used by NASA, by Cirque du Soleil, by Unicredit. So I used that. By that time I used all this background just really to explain that this is a serious stuff. And I remember he looked at me like this, guy in the suit and a very serious glass office, and everything looked very serious. And he told me, so why are we're going to play the cards? I said, in a way, just we're going actually to observe your situation in the work. And he said, okay, I'm going to pretend I'm my worker, and you're going to show me how to work, okay? So I said to him, listen, you're not going to pretend anyone, because it's not about pretending. I'm inviting you. You don't need to tell me what you're working with. It's just, let's explore. You can have your answers inside. And when we put all the cards on the chart, he asked me, so where is your crystal ball? Or maybe the black cat? But after the process, first, he was sweating. His glasses were steamed. And before I get home from Warsaw, I received the email from him, please send me an offer, I want the workshop. And for me, what I learned from that situation, don't betray yourself. They can make laugh from you, the crystal ball, the black cat, but if I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. And in a way, trust the process, it's trust yourself. This is my answer in a way, because now you can, I mean, if I believe in it, you can, and I'm offering it to you. You can take it or leave it, but I know what I'm doing. I don't know if it's good enough answer, but
Thank you. It's a beautiful answer.
I think it's you got lots of tips here from Julija, and we have like let's say less 2 minutes before we close the session. By the way, I believe in the same way. Just let the person experience it. It doesn't necessarily need to be like a 1 hour session. It can be a short demo of 15 minutes to take a topic, to talk about it, to open a card and to observe. Corinne, do you have any comment or question?
No, I just wanted to add, it's exactly the same with our participants, L1, L2. And they say, do you think I'm gonna do this? Exactly, on just a representation of what Julija said. It happens that sometimes they don't trust themselves enough because they find the magic and they find the power in this 1 day or 2 days. And after they are just on the ground and they say, okay, my clients, they are very serious. Okay. And all the time when I encourage them to, the magic happens. And that's good. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very important really to trust ourselves. And also, points of view, it's not a baby anymore. We really have our reputation, and you can say it that we have our academy, we're working with the ICF, we have lots of certified facilitator. We have, our speech of how to promote what we are doing, and bring yourself and believe in yourself. And in our last minute, Julija, if you have like a golden tip for, let's take, like, most of us here are quite seniors in points of view world, but for those who maybe will receive the recordings and will want to learn in the future, like a golden tip for a beginner in content creation. Do you have something to offer them in how to create the first workshop with points of view tools?
the answer which is coming to me, it's take your problem, ask yourself a question, and make a workshop from it. You will solve your problem, you will heal yourself, and you will give healing to others.
Yay! Amazing.
This is the best way.
To heal yourself through the process of creation also.
Yeah,
Amazing.
you ask yourself a question. What are you experiencing? And what kind of question you would like to ask yourself? And trust me, there are people who need to listen to these questions as well. You're not the only one.
Amazing.
That's it.
Thank you, Julia, for this 1 hour with full of tips. I wrote even for myself a few and some keywords that I will embrace. Thank you everyone for being here, for your smart questions, for challenging us. And we are continuing our journey together. We have so many encounters. And we have a flat session tomorrow with the facilitation highlights. We have a free open session with Yaron on Thursday. We have another fusion workshop on Sunday with Coach May about how to ask brave questions, and on and on and on, and everything you will get in your emails. Also in the tribe, I highly invite you to log in, create your profile, so people will get to know you and it will be easier also to reach out to you. Julia, I invite you to write on the chat your contact info if you want. If you want to communicate with Julia directly to hear about her workshop that she's about to facilitate in Poland and worldwide. Julia is about to be in New York in September with Yaron. She's facilitating TPP and much, much more. So stay tuned, stay around, we'll be in touch. Thank you for everything. And I hope to see you tomorrow, the day after, on Sunday, and another Meet the Facilitator that we have next week. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your energy, for your questions. And yeah, let's keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia, for your amazing work, and you're really inspiration. Thanks.
Thank you.
Right.